What does Shinzo Abe, Akira Kurosawa, the kami of war, and a flock of geese have in common? Find out in today's video. Whenever I climb a famous mountain of Yamagata, I'm always intrigued by the story behind the mountain. So many of these mountains have, well, actually all of them have some sort of interesting story. For example, some mountains were castles in the past, or where serious wars happened, or you've got mountains that are the stuff of legend. Mount Haguro, for example, is a mountain where Yamabushi train and have trained for centuries. And today I'm at Mokuzo-yama in Shinzo City. I searched and searched for the story behind this mountain and I couldn't find anything. All I could find was stuff like, this mountain is loved by locals. This mountain takes 3 hours to summit. This mountain has a hut. So, you know, the boring stuff. Just passed through Shinzo City and I was coming up the rice fields, and on the left I saw a sign, and this sign said that it had a picture of these 3 mountains. One of them is Mokuzo-yama. But it wasn't Mokuzo-yama that it was pointing to, it was a different mountain, and it said this mountain was a tate, which is the old word for a castle. And the sign said that Mount Mokuzo-yama was the location of, or one location in the Zen Kunen no Eki, which we call in English the former 9 years war, between 1051 and 1062. So it was over the period of about 12 years, but they still call it the former 9 years war. There are long periods of peace and not so much fighting. So 1,000 years ago in northern Japan, there were a group of people called the Emishi, or the Ezo, which are like old native Japanese people. And the Abe clan was there to subjugate. They were there to control the Emishi, and they had the backing of the imperial court in Kyoto, I believe, and they held the position of Shinjufu Shogun. Shinjufu Shogun was a special position that the Abe clan held, specifically Abe no Yoritoki, in which they were in charge of controlling the barbarians of the north, per se. However, Abe no Yoritoki was a little bit rebellious, I guess you could say, because he would actually levy his own taxes on the people, and he would confiscate the property of the people without the permission of the imperial court in Kyoto. And so what the imperial court did is that they fired the governor and they sent in Minamoto no Yoriyoshi to take control. Minamoto no Yoriyoshi and his 15-year-old son, Minamoto no Yoshiie, traveled to the area. And there were 2 main battles in this Zen Kunen no Eki, the former 9 years war. The first one was the Battle of Kawasaki in 1057, and then there was the Siege of Kuriyagawa in 1062. And so Abe no Yoritoki, unfortunately, he had passed away before the Battle of Kawasaki in 1057, but his 2 sons, Abe no Sadato and Abe no Muneto, took over the fight. And the war ended in 1062 when the Kiyohara clan joined forces with the Minamoto, and they attacked the Abe stronghold in Kuriyagawa. During the siege of Kuriyagawa, they stormed the earthworks and stockades, and they set the whole place on fire. Even after 2 days, it took 2 days for Abe no Sadato to give up. And in 1063, Minamoto no Yoshiie took Abe no Sadato's head to the imperial court in Kyoto. And what does this have to do with Mokuzo-yama? Well, Mokuzo-yama was actually the location of some of the fighting. So if you go to Mokuzo-yama, you can see that there are these 2 smaller mountains on the main mountain. And these 2 smaller mountains are said to be, or it was proven actually, they were 2 fortresses that fought against each other. When you look at Mokuzo-san, on the left-hand side you can see a low mountain which is Abedate, or the remains of the Abedate castle. And if you look to the right, you see the remains of the Hachiman-date castle. The folks at Shinzo North High School Geography and History Club actually visited these fortresses, or where the fortresses were, and they found earthen walls, some flat areas, and also dry moats. So there's proof that there was actually fighting here, and further investigation would probably actually dig up some more. And there's also a legend of Yoshi-ie that happens on Mount Mokuzo. Apparently the Abe clan were planning an attack, and suddenly Yoshi-ie spotted in the air a flock of geese that had gone out of formation. So the geese had normally fly in a V, right? But these geese had gone completely out of formation. And that told Yoshi-ie that something was up. And of course it was. And so he was able to fight back and also fight off the Abe clan at this time. That was the start of Minamoto no Yoshi-ie's exploits. So he became well known for his prowess during battle. So much so that he was given the title the most valorous warrior of the land, and also the title Hachiman Taro, so the son of Hachiman. Hachiman is the kami of war. And I was looking into the history of the Abe clan a little bit more, and it appears that Abe no Sadato was the ancestor of Akira Kurosawa, and his brother Abe no Muneto was the ancestor of none other than Shinzo Abe. So this little mountain in the middle of Yamagata Prefecture, which I could find zero information about on the internet, actually turned out to have quite an intriguing backstory to it. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably also enjoy my video about the forgotten highways of Japan. Or definitely check out my video on Hokariyama, or Mother Hunter Mountain, because that's got a pretty crazy story behind it. If you want to be the first to hear stories like this, sign up for my newsletter. I'm Tim Bunting, the Kiwi Yamabushi. Ka kite ano, and I'll see you next time.